Well, can you see where I am today? That's a Trump hotel. Hey, let's see, that's east, so that's west. So west, if you go here west on Pennsylvania Avenue, you run into the White House. That's the National Press Building. No, that's a lawyer's building. I'm sorry, but the Trump Hotel, and it used to be a great. I haven't even been in it since it was Trump. I used to go in all the time. It was called the old post office building, and they had a great thing on top on the roof. Was great. It was a wonderful building, and you have an old timey, looks like Europe building. And he took it over, leased it, or gave his name to somebody to run this. But it's closed now. But also they're trying to sell it. Everybody's having trouble with their businesses. Wait, you are live casting. Yes, I am live casting. Do you hear me? I want to make sure you hear me. Last time, the other day, I didn't. Pretty billing. Howdy, hope you're having a great day. Yes, but make sure, tell me that you can hear me okay. Okay? I want to thank you for what you do. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. So tell me, can you hear me okay? That's what I want to know. Somebody tell me they hear me okay. Yes, we hear you great. I don't have to do it over again. I hate doing it over. When I used to do a lot of TV shows, they wanted me to rehearse. Man, I didn't want to rehearse. And even when I rehearsed, because it's not natural to me. If the person who's interviewing me knows what I'm going to say, and I know, then it's no fun. Who wants to watch that? But that's what the producers are wanting. I remember on the Jay Leno show, we rehearsed for 4 hours, man, whatever it was. And I got on live, and I didn't pay attention to anything he said. I just started having fun. And I was like death, man. After the show was over, everybody scattered like cockroaches away from me because I never did what anybody said. Anyway, what I want to bring you up to date with is where's that $800 a week, unemployment going? Because it's supposed to be. They said it was going to be passed by the end of this week. A lot of people said it had to be. Now I'm hearing two different messages. First, it seems like it has to be passed by this week. By just some states. The law, I think, states by the end of the month, which is another couple of days, a week, later. And that's where they're going by now. Now, it's been held up by the Republicans, and they're arguing amongst themselves. The Democrats are finished with this. They have a product on the table for 2-3 months. The Republicans just started Monday arguing what it should be, and obviously they're still arguing. And the biggest argument, they've agreed with some things, even with the White House, and it's mostly on school stuff and testing and things like that. But on the stuff you and I want to know about, hey, what about those $800 a week we'll be getting that's going to end? And how much is the stimulus check, or if there is a stimulus check? They haven't finished arguing about that yet. So McConnell says, I heard this morning, that, okay, we hope to get something done by Monday. So now it's Friday, right? So I think last night he said by Monday they should have something, that they'll agree on. But whatever the hell they agree on, they have to get the Democrats involved, because the Democrats run the House of Representatives. and the Republicans run Trump and the White House, okay? So they still have to negotiate there. So it's just something coming to the table. So no matter what they say, it probably won't be the bottom line. But it's interesting. You got to see. And what they have now, some people are saying, well, it should reduce from 800 to 200. And that, I don't know, in the long run, that has probably the least amount of chance getting through. But that's just one person, and I'm wrong lots of times. I got some ex-wives that will happily chime in on that with you. So the other thing they're talking about that they'd like to have is sort of like that the amount of money you get for unemployment would not be more than 70% of what you were getting in your job. The biggest thing they have with the $800 is that people are getting more than what they were getting when they were working. Wow. And that's so hypocritical to me for a Congress that just gave $1 trillion to rich people who didn't need another penny. we're all hypocrites, aren't we? So that seems to be the argument, and we'll have a couple days. And I mentioned the other day, what you want to do to get in on this is sure read the headlines, but sign up with your congressman and senators' websites. You have 2 senators and 1 congressman. Go to commoncause.org, find their websites, because when they finally pass this bill, that will be one of the most safest ways. Sure, there'll be some good media, that probably know about it. But see, if you start using your congressman and your senator's website, they're the people you could go to. You can't ask CNN for explain something. You can't ask the New York Times explain something, or Fox News. Hey, what do you mean by this? Now, you're never going to get them. How soon you get a congressman or senator, well, is debatable, but at least they have to give you an answer, or they're supposed to give you an answer. So that's why you want to start using them for this kind of help. And even me, I'm guessing. So they're a better first thing. I mean, I'll have it eventually, like everybody else in the middle, and get it straight eventually. But to get as close to the horse's mouth as possible. And that's your elected official. So that's what you want to do. The other thing I said in the headline is about mental health, depression, anxiety, all this stuff that we're living through as a society, I feel, more than ever. My wife works with young people. There's more young people committing suicide than ever before. Older people, middle-aged people committing suicide. That to me is the real disaster. That's telling you something's wrong in our goddamn country. Not the fact that you're broke, the fact that people are committing suicide. That's what we have to worry about. And that's why it's tough in these times. You're insecure and don't have money, and everybody's fighting each other. Man, it's easy to feel that way, that you're left out in the cold and nothing's going to happen. And so you get anxious and all that. Oh, somebody gave me a tip. Thank you. Oh, that's nice of you. No, and really, even the money or not, it's the appreciation. That's what we all need, is appreciation for what we're doing. We don't need all of us don't need a mansion. There's some assholes that really can't live without it, but I don't think we have to worry about them. It's the rest of us who don't need that we should be worrying about. So that's why the depression thing. There's a couple things. You feel unsettled like that. Okay, start with your county government. Your county government has a lot of free health services, and mental health. That's a big problem, right? And we all need that. And if you don't have the support system yourself, to help you with mental problems and depression, start there. And then another thing, a way I think, is to help with mental problems that we all have, and it's really a function of how big our support system is, or how secure we feel in life, if we're going to get over them. I mean, it's human nature to have these things. And another way I think to get it, at least it works for me a lot, is by giving. Okay, at the trunk. They're delivering steaks to Trump. No, they're close. And by giving. So if you go to 211.org, and find nonprofit organizations that are helping. Now we have a food insecurity problem that's off the scale. Okay, you go and deliver meals, with a nonprofit in town that's helping other people. Find a nonprofit that you could volunteer with. That's a way to get your mind off your own problems, because the more you get in that rabbit hole of what your own problem is, and running into brick wall after brick wall, how to solve them, you got to get out of that somehow to be able to see it a little clearer, so you can see new and different alternatives to your own personal problems. And one way, I think, is giving. So if you go to 211, you can find people who help kids, people who help seniors, people who help, all kinds of things. Being a tutor, that's a way. Helping people. Everybody's at home. I mean, so you need tutors, somebody to help people, young kids read or something, to get out of your own malaise, which, those rabbit holes we all go into. You start thinking only about yourself. That's why I love my work so much, because I'm trying to help other people. And that's really selfish, see, because I feel so good doing it. So trying to help people is the most selfish thing you could do in the world because it really helps you. So that's the depression part of the title. The other part of the title is the thank you. I don't know what happened on YouTube the last couple of days. I mean, if I got 1,000 views or something, anything, that was a lot, you know. I usually my things were a couple hundred views. People always tell me, Lesko, you should have more views. Yeah, I know it, but I don't remember. I don't know what happened. The robots or whatever. It's clicked. I'm getting thousands, thousands of views that I've never gotten before. Sure, it's still not these people who get 1 billion or whatever, but I don't care. I don't really need the views. I need to help people, and the views on YouTube apparently are getting people to join up on Lesko Health, and that's who I want to thank too. Is the people who are joining Lesko Health. That's a closed Facebook group, and to bear with me because I'm answering all your first questions myself. So after I go my running or whatever, and I have to stop by Trader Joe's on the way home. I'm 3 miles away from where I live, and I have to get back there. I'm going to answer all the questions, and I'm usually a day or two behind. So bear with me to get it. I want to make sure you get the best help possible, you know, from me, because I know this stuff more than anybody else, and so that's why. And I like doing it because it teaches me what your problem is. I feel I could find an answer to anything. I just don't know the question. That's why I used to wear question marks all the time. Now I feel the heart is more important because your heart has to be in it to make you, give you the what you need to get through this shit, to find the right questions, to find the answer is your heart. So that's why I'm switching to hearts or both or whatever. A lot of noisy trucks here. And they're all delivering stuff. Nothing's open. I don't know what the hell they're delivering. Maybe it's money to the Treasury because they're going to give out another trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion. Who knows what yet. But I want to thank you so much for those that have joined, those that have not joined, and it doesn't make sense. I have a free service that may be helpful. If you want to join, it's lesko.com, www.lesko.com. If that doesn't make sense, you have a free service. You get all about the new COVID grant stuff at a place called www.free.lesko.com/corona relief. So www.free.lesko.com/corona relief. And I want to thank you so much for and those that joined, because I say we're getting a bunch, I'm getting overwhelmed. So be patient with me if you can. If you're pissed off at me and I didn't answer and you want a refund, that's fine. I'll refund anybody for anything. Don't worry about it. If you signed up and you thought you would get $100 a week forever just by signing up, nah, it doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't work. What I do is show you the websites that maybe, everything's a maybe. That's what life is about. You know, it is maybes. You may get a date with that woman across the street, but you have to ask, and then the answer is maybe. You may get a job, you know, at that firm that is hiring, but the answer is maybe. It's the same with this kind of stuff, you know. So I can't promise you get the money. I just promise it's there, it's possible, and I send you to the most possible maybes that we have, and then it's going to take work on your side. You know, you don't make one phone call or whatever. You have to get in it for the game. You can't ask one woman for a date. You can't ask, one company for a job. You have to keep at it, and you get better at it by trying and failing. That's the only way you're going to prove your game. You know, is get out there. You can't sit in a classroom and learn how to play football and think, oh, now I know it all, and get out there and throw a touchdown pass. You know, that ain't going to happen. It's the same with everything else you do in life. Yeah, that's why I think heart is so important. You have to have the heart in it to stay there. And truthfully, we all know this, but it's hard to get through our thick skulls because everybody tells us that life is easy, and that's bullshit. It ain't. Even for the people that make it look easy, they're working like hell. They want to convince you it's easy, so you give them money. Yeah. But that's really hard. Oh God, why is it so hard? And that's what we gotta put up with. Okay, well, I gotta go to Trader Joe's, pick up some stuff. Okay, and then get back and answer the questions on Let's Go Help, which is really, if you're interested in that, that's www.letsgo.com. Okay, and if you have a question in, bear with me. It usually takes me 48 hours at the most. And if you don't get an answer by then, just yell at me. Let's go, you old fart. Where are you? I need my question answered. Yell at me. I love it. And that's showing me love. That you really want my answer. Okay. Talk to you soon.